What's up, everybody? So today we are going to make something really simple, but something useful. Okay, we all have pot holders that probably look something like this. They've been worse for wear. Um, they've gotten all the use out of them that they can get, and why not take this and use it for a pattern? If you weren't able to get the template or sign up for the email for the template we sent out, then just grab you an old pot holder and use that. And I will show you how to do that here. Sorry, I'm kind of looking off to the side here to see what is going on. So it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on. So today is kind of going to be a little bit of a shakedown run. I've missed doing this. I've missed being with you guys. So let's get into what we're doing. So we're going to do something simple. Okay. Today's not going to be rocket science, but simple projects are good projects because they teach you good foundational skills. Most everybody will probably know some or all of what we're doing today. So let me get you switched over to the overhead camera, and then you can see what we are working with. Okay. So today I'm going to use this simple old thing, and we are going to trace, because the nice thing about this project is there is no set pattern. You're going to be the one using it, so make it the way that is going to work for you. So what I've got here is some insulated batting, and then I've got some regular batting as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting me a piece out, and I'll make sure the rest of my stuff is out of the way so I'm not running my rotary cutter over it by accident. So all I'm going to do now, the pot holder obviously is two sides, right? You got this side and you got this side. All right, so I'm going to do two sets for each side. I'm just going to do this. All right. All right, and go ahead and do another. I'll just cut down here. All right, so we'll get this out of the way. Now you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second. You know what? Let me move. This light. I don't know about on your guys' screen, but on my screen, it looks a little dark, so I'll go ahead and adjust that. All right, hopefully that's a little better. All right. There we go. All right, so put this out of the way. We'll put these to the side. And these are going to be our outer, because we're going to be making like a pancake here. I'll show you what I mean just a second. So we've got our thermal batting. All right. Now we've got our regular. Now, I would suggest, simply because it's going to be hot, I would suggest using cotton batting. Okay, or if you want to use all layers of this insulated batting, that's fine. I think I paid $7.99 maybe a yard at Joann's for it. So it's not terribly expensive, and you can make quite a few of these out of what you're doing. So, all right, so here's where the sandwich comes in. I'm going to take the insulated and put it on the outside, and then put it on the outside here as well. Okay, I'm going to do that to both sides. Now, how bulky you make this is really up to you. I've got some pot holders that are really thick, and that's great. It's going to protect you really nicely from the heat, but it also kind of makes them a little cumbersome to try to use. So again, the nice thing about making your own is you make it to your liking. So I'm going to simply do this. I am just going to trace my little pot holder design. There we go. Now, if you have a marking tool, then use that. I just happen to grab an ink pen, and it's good enough. It's working. Boom. Simple and easy, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one out, and then I'm going to use this, and we'll use that for the template. Now, instead of trying to get my scissors to cut and keep everything nice and even, I'm just using this. Or actually, you know what? Before we do this, let me rethink this. All right, we're going to put this to the side because I just thought of something here. Instead of cutting, I'm going to make this a lot easier. All right, so I have two different fabrics. Now, I'm going to do this kind of design with like the pop fabric on the front and just some basic fabric on the back. So because my wife loves chickens and roosters and sunflowers, this is what we're doing. Cute little chickens. Let me see if I can make that look a little straighter. Kind of looking a little weird. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use this, and then this will be the back. Now, we got to make double of each, right? Because we're two sides that are going together. So again, we'll put our interior pieces out of the way. And now let's contend with our actual fabric. Now, everybody's machine is going to be different. Mine can kind of handle some thickness, okay? So I'm not worried about how many layers I'm sewing through. All right, this Juki is pretty stout when it comes to that. So again, I am going to, and this is what you'll do as well. Take your little stack, put it on top of your fabric, and you can cut it a little bigger. All right. Now, if you lined up your top and bottom, you'll be cutting two of both fabrics at one time. Make it nice and easy. All right, and I'm going to cut this one a little bigger, and you'll see why in a second. Boom. Okay. So we'll get these out of the way. Hey, Mary. Okay. So now we need to decide a front and a back. And I'm going to sew all this together just because I think it adds a little bit of rigidness. But I'm not going to sew it too crazy because then, you know, you guys got to sit and watch that. And what fun is it to sit and watch somebody sew a bunch of lines? So here's the thing, though. We need to do outside to outside, right? I'll show you in just a minute. Get everything together. Now, when I do these lives, if you haven't watched before, I don't do my tutorials like you're going to find other people do theirs, where they've already completed some of the steps and they leave stuff out. I am showing you every step of the process. You know, some people say, it takes too long, just get to the point. Well, that's fine. That's not my style, because we have a lot of new quilters, and sometimes what may be obvious to people that have been quilting a while is not obvious to our new quilters, right? We all started somewhere. So I like to do it to where I am going to show you the steps. And then that way, maybe it's something, maybe you thought you knew what you were doing, and I do it a different way that may work for you. Who knows? I may be doing it a way, and you're sitting there saying, what the heck is this guy doing? Who knows? Now, the other thing you could do with this, and I'm not doing it simply because I don't want the extra mess or step, is you could be using spray adhesive right now. Okay? You could spray adhesive all these layers together, but I'm not doing that. I am simply going to take close your rotary cutter. I'm simply going to take my layers, and I'm going to go ahead and sew them. And now what I'm doing is I'm giving this a little bit more stitch length because we've got so much to cut through. Now, just to give myself an idea, okay, we're going to take this whole big mess, and I'm going to make sure my layers, that my template here is on top of all the layers I need it to be, which is the thermal and the regular batting. All right, and then I'm going to trim this down just so I kind of have a better idea of where I need to sew. All right. And you can feel where your batting is. So we're going to go a little wider than what we need. Boom. All right. Now, see if I can get you guys in here to where you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now, I've got a walking foot on here, okay? There we go. All right, so I got a walking foot on here, and it might be hard to see because the machine's, there we go, with the white bed and the white foot. Now, what's nice about this is it's going to pull all the layers of fabric together at one time, okay? It's not necessarily needed. It's not 100% have to. Me personally, that's just what I wanted to use. Now, let's see. Now also is where you need to decide how you want your lines to go, or if it matters to you. You can be as creative or as simple as you want. I'm just going to do a couple of lines to hold things together before we start trimming. Now you'll see here why I didn't cut my shape out yet and why I'm sewing first. Because as you sew, it's going to pucker your fabric and it's going to draw things in a little bit. So if you tried to cut it out exactly, then you're going to come up kind of uneven. So now with this design, how I'm doing this, one side, the chickens, is going to be the show side. On the other side, this barnwood fabric is going to be the show side. So right now, we're really paying attention to the chicken fabric, and we want to keep it from puckering. And we're not too worried about the underside. All right, I think we're pretty good. Maybe one more. You know, now that I'm sewing this, I think probably we could probably have gotten away with a little bit less batting, but that's fine. This will make it to where if you want to use it as a hot pad, then you can also use it for a hot pad. And like I said, when I do projects with you guys, sometimes I've done them before, and sometimes we're just figuring them out together, because the nice thing about that, too, is I leave my mistakes in when I make them, because a lot of times you guys see on these tutorials, whether it's on YouTube or whoever's doing them, and everything is just the easiest thing they've ever done. There's no mistakes, no nothing. And then if you're new and you're trying to do it and you're making the mistakes, then you're like, what the heck? I thought this was like the easiest thing in the world. You know, I'm making mistakes. I must not, you know, I must suck at this. And you don't. It's just they've got helpers and people that are making their projects ahead of time and so on. So right now, let's take a look at this. If you're doing a printed fabric like I am, now is the time to decide which way you want it to go. In my case, this is the wood grain, and I want it to run lengthwise of my pot holder. So I need to make sure this fabric is turned properly. So that way it'll fit. Boom. All right. Now here we're not going to run as many lines, and then we'll get going with the next step. And now since the wood grain is going to be my outside piece, I'm sewing it as the top because that's the side I care about here. Now also, I'm not going to put as many rows in here. Now you can go back and do the diamonds if you want, whatever you want to do. That's the nice thing about this. This is kind of just a proof of concept here. Maybe one or two more, and then we'll get down to business. Now you do want to kind of, you don't want to stretch the fabric, but you want to guide it through and try to keep it from puckering. There's nothing more aggravating than having a really nice couple of rows of quilting and then all of a sudden, you know, then all of a sudden you get a pucker and it ruins it. So I just got kind of a facetious message from a quilting friend of mine giving me crap because I am making pot holders. And yes, pot holders. Everyone needs them. We can all use them. All right, so here's what it is. I love my friend. She's constantly giving me crap. All right, so easy peasy. All right, same thing. I am just going to trace and do it pretty simply. All right, like I stated, this doesn't have to be rocket science. This first project isn't going to be like a wow, you know, there's no wow factor. It's a simple pot holder. I've been away from quilting for quite a while, and I need something that is simple and something that is useful, and this will go with kind of some of the other things that we will be doing in this little series, getting ready for Thanksgiving. Now, everybody right now is doing Halloween and pumpkins and stuff like that. Julie. So I decided to go with getting ready for Thanksgiving. And we're going to do a couple projects that kind of go together. You know what? I need to make that darker. All right, so I'm going to show you guys right here. Scoot down a little bit. Boom. All right. Easy enough. Now I got to find my line, and we're just going to cut. So you do it however you want. I'm kind of, I'm comfortable just using my rotary cutter and taking away some of the bulk of this and going like so. Now for you, if you got the template, now is the time. Take your template and use that to go around your fabric. With me, I'm kind of a do what works for you. Now, we'll go in with some scissors and kind of get this, because this is a little bulky here. All right. All right, right now it doesn't look like much, but it will come together. All right, we're going to leave it a little oversized. Now let's get our other one. Kind of like that. Now, our projects will vary in degree of difficulty and skill level and all that. I want everyone to be able to participate. So, now, like I said, is this the right way? Maybe not. But is this what is working for me? Yep. So do what works for you. I'm gonna draw this little section here. Get this curve, and then we will be about there. All right. There we go. All right. All right. Well. All right. I think that's good enough. Now, with these ends, we are just going to kind of dress them up really simply, real quick. I'm just going to take some of this. Now, we'll just fold this in half and kind of do just like you would a quilt binding. Now, you're going to put this part on the inside. Okay. So, on this side, and actually what I did here is I should have cut these opposite. Okay, because what I really wanted, I wanted it to be to where this was this, and then on the back was the wood. But since I kind of screwed that up a little bit. It's okay. Now this is going to be really thick. So, like I said, your machine, whatever your machine can handle, do what your machine can handle. There we go. All right. All right, so I want the nice side like this, so we're going to take the not so nice side and sew it down. Okay. Now, and all I'm doing here is I just want to cover up the raw edge where your wrist is going to go. Now, if you've got a machine with decorative stitching, now would be a good place to use those and kind of get creative. With my Juki, it's a straight stitch only. So I'm just going to sew kind of as close to the edge of the fabric as possible. Okay. So that's where we're looking. Nice and simple. All right, I'm going to do the same thing to this side real quick. And now comes the part where we're trying to join these, because these are a little thicker than what I thought they would turn out to be. All right. All right, now here is where now if you want to take the time to maybe take some of these layers out around the edge, you could do that. I am not going to do that because you know what? Let's see what happens. I think I've got everything about lined up. So I've got a walking foot on. This is really, really thick, so we'll see how it goes. Now, as you can hear, I am not going fast. I'm going to kind of help it around this turn here because we're going through a lot. If you've ever wondered why I love a Juki machine, it's because of this right here. I sew a ton of different stuff. I can never decide what I like to do. Quilts, bags, random stuff. And it seems like no matter what kind of idea I have, this Juki will just go through it. Of course, I say that, and now there we go. Getting caught up. And we would break a thread. All right. Luckily. All right now. How many of you guys struggle with getting the thread in? So we'll use that little trick. So, a little trick. A lot of times I'll see people lick the thread to try to straighten it out. Don't do that. Lick your finger and put the finger behind the needle. And that little bit of moisture from your finger will grab that thread. But if you are licking the thread, then you're just making the thread thicker. It's going to swell up a little bit. All right. That's about as thick as I think I can shove under there. All right, so let's see what we ended up with. All right. Now comes the fun part of turning this thing inside out. All right. That works. I like that. I want to be able to actually bend it. All right. Now, in hindsight, we could probably gotten away with the 2 layers of the insulated batting. But when I tend to build something or do something, I tend to overdo it sometimes. I think this might be one of those cases. Good news is this pot holder will hold up. Let's see. Now, if you got a broomstick or something like that handy, that'll help you turn it inside out some. Boom. Try and get that thumb out of there. That might be the issue. doggy. Oh, guys, this thumb might be too thick to pop out. Let's try scissors. It'll either help or it'll poke a hole. Good Lord. All right, well. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I might have done it. Good Lord. Yeah, I think that's just too thick. All right, y'all. This might be chalked up to a don't do what I did project. There we go. We're getting it. Yeah, when I redo these, we're definitely going to use we'll use less batting. All right, there we go. This thing's so damn bulky. All right. So the thumb needs some help, but we'll do another one because now we know what not to do. I like it. It's cute. It come out all right. Got a stubby thumb. Because that's not coming out. We even have a blowout from where I was pushing on it too hard. So I'll remake this and I will post this when I'm done because what did we learn? I think we've got 4 layers of batting per side. And I think we probably could have done just the 2. And yeah, I think that would be thick enough. But I like the lines. The lines gave it some extra strength. Needs less bulk for sure. But I do like the trim piece here at the top. Okay. So, all right. Well, like I said, we'll switch. All right. So, like I said, that was a simple little project. You know, it's not hard. I'm just kind of winging it. And I think we just went too thick. That's all. So a little bit thinner, and I think we'll have it. I'm going to sit here and actually remake one. And then I'll put the finished project in the group. But like I said, when I sew, I just show you how it is, okay? Because I want people to be encouraged. Not everybody is perfect, all right? And if that's all we're seeing is all these perfect projects and the people doing them never make any mistakes, then when you're learning and you're making a mistake, a lot of times, at least I know I did when I was getting started, I'm like, man, this whole project, all they did was talk about how easy and how fast and how simple this project was, and I'm having issues, and they're not. So maybe I just suck at this. But nobody shows their mess ups. I don't care. I'm doing this to have fun. I'm doing this just because I enjoy doing it. And the nice thing about messing up is there's always lessons. You learn stuff when you do it right, but you learn stuff when you do it wrong too. So there you go. We learned today, simple project, make it thinner. And yeah, it won't be so hard to turn inside out. Also, maybe give myself some more room because I kind of sewed you know, kind of missed a little bit here. That's all right. So, yep, clip the inner curve. Yep, Kathy, you are always a wealth of knowledge. All right, I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to remake this because now I'm determined, and I like it, but I'm going to make it the right way and probably a little less bulky. So anyway, love you guys. I'm out of here. If you make this, post it in the group or post it on the page. Let me see what kind of stuff you've turned out with. Yes, I know it's a rudimentary project. It's very simple. I understand that. But I figured with the holidays coming up, let's make some pot holders and some casserole carriers to get things kicked back off. And then we'll go into some bigger projects. I actually am talking to a member of our group, Miss Julie Loma. We are going to try to set something up. Her company makes angle play rulers, and with one square, she has a quilt that you make one square, but you can put it together in 9 different ways. Not put the individual square, but you put the finished squares together different ways, and it comes out to 9 different quilt patterns. It's pretty fantastic. If you want to check out angle play rulers and kind of see what it is I'm talking about, her website is offthewallquilts.com. She's got some fantastic stuff. The green rulers that I was using, adjustable quilt strip rulers, that's where they came from. So we're going to talk to her and try to put a class together with something with her, because she does some fantastic stuff. She's actually the one that was giving me crap about making a simple pot holder. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. I know everybody's got tomorrow off, so enjoy it with your friends and family like I plan on. I'm going to get off here, and when I get this other pot holder finished, I will post it. So love you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for having fun. You know, if you screw up, no big deal. I screw up. I'll even show you guys. I'm not afraid. Anyway, all right. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Love you guys. Bye.